I think my first day in the mine, what I remember was that first tour. When I got to the bottom of the mine, I noticed it was real high, and I said, well, this is going to work. But as we took the tour and went into these working places, it got lower and lower, and I was 6'7", and I kept bumping my head, and he said, you better learn how to do duck and this and that. So I just you have to adapt and walk different, because some places are, 5 feet high, 6 feet high. So you just walk different, and you got to kind of watch where you're going. And I thought it was dangerous that first time. There's a system, Mike knows, where they have these control cave-ins. Once the coal has been, they're working back. They go as far as they can this way, and then whatever coal is left there, they bring it back. And as you pull back, then there's nothing to support the roof, and it'll just fall. And they have these control cave-ins. And the first time I saw one in those early days, I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not, And it did scare me, but I was lucky enough to be with some really, really good coal miners, and they knew what was going on. And, I felt safe all the time working around these guys. I never did wander out by myself or nothing like that. I made sure, that first year, my helmet was painted yellow. It was a yellow. And after that first year, then you can paint it any color you wanted. So I was always around those guys that had their helmets painted. They knew what was going on. So after a while, I kind of adapted. I always wondered where I was in relationship to the surface. As you go, you could be, we were close to the New Mexico border, I think, at one time from the Allen mine. That's how far it went underground.
How many miles would that be?
Ooh, but further, because they were, because I think the Raton border is 7 miles,
something like that, up to the basin line. They call it the basin line. That was pretty much close to the New Mexico line.
So it could have been 5 or 6 miles on a little clay train, I call it, before you got out and mined coal. So it was.
So you went down the central shaft at the
Right.
mine head, and then went out across.
Our mines were slope mines. There were no shafts.
Oh.
It was slope mines in underground. You go down 560 feet, slope down in underground.
Okay.
And then we kind of branched off depending on where you were working. That you pretty much went to the same place every day, but it took, once you got to the bottom, 15, 20, 25 minutes to get to where you were actually mining coal.
Tom, you mentioned the union before, so why don't we leave that, and you could start talking about